Hi, welcome, enjoy the contents, subscribe and turn on notifications.
When your wife starts putting passwords on things she once left open, that's not privacy, it's preparation for betrayal. I didn't want to believe it, until he sent me the video. My name is Jason Carter. I'm 36 years old, living in Charlotte, North Carolina. Civil engineer by profession. Married for 8 years to a woman I thought I knew, Danielle. We met in college. She was my calm in the storm, sharp, confident, beautiful. And for years, we were that couple. You know the one, always smiling at events, tagged in dinner photos, family saying, "You two are perfect." But that all started changing 3 months ago. It started small. Danielle would stay late at work more often. I'd come home, dinner cold on the table, her phone clutched tightly in her hand. She used to leave it on the kitchen counter, wide open. Now, it was always face down, with a new lock screen I didn't recognize. She started using a new perfume, one I hadn't bought her. Floral, but heavy. Like she was trying to impress someone new. When I mentioned it, she said, "Oh, just trying something different." No eye contact. That wasn't like her. Our conversations became short. Her "I love you"s felt like habit, not heart. I still remember our anniversary in February. I booked a dinner reservation at the same restaurant where I proposed, that rooftop in uptown Charlotte. She forgot. Said her boss had her staying late for a team-building meeting. No text. No call. She came home at 11 p.m., smelling like cheap red wine and lies. I didn't confront her. I did something else. I started writing everything down. Every excuse. Every odd detail. Dates. Times. Who she said she was with. I don't know why, maybe part of me already knew the truth was coming. I needed to see the pattern for myself. I confided in Marcus, my childhood best friend. He runs a barbershop down on Central Avenue. Real no BS kind of guy. When I told him what I'd noticed, he didn't hesitate. "Jay, if you don't look now, you might regret later." Still, I waited. Then came the night I couldn't ignore, Friday, March 1st. We were sitting on the couch. She was scrolling her phone, laughing. I leaned over to ask what was funny. She turned the screen away, saying, "Just work memes." That was the moment I felt it. The wall. The barrier. Later that night, I stayed up while she slept beside me. I stared at the ceiling, listening to her breathe. I knew something had changed, something deep. Something permanent. And then, the next morning, I received a message from an unknown number. No words. Just a video file. I hesitated, fingers trembling, and pressed play. They were laughing. Not just cheating, but laughing at me. At my loyalty. At my trust. At the man who stayed faithful while being made a fool. The video was exactly 1 minute and 48 seconds long. I remember every frame. Danielle was in a hotel room. Dim lights, wine glass in her hand, sitting beside a man I'd never seen in person, but recognized from a conversation months ago. His name was Trevor Wallace. A real estate guy. They went to the same college, apparently reconnected at a marketing event in Raleigh. She mentioned him once, said, "He's married with kids." Funny how that's always the first thing people say when they're hiding something. In the video, she was laughing at me. Her voice, once so familiar, now sounded cruel. I heard her say, "He'd never expect it, he's too loyal, too boring." That line played over and over in my head. My chest tightened. My hands went cold. But I didn't throw the phone. I didn't scream. I didn't even cry. I watched it again. And then I saved it to a hidden folder on my laptop, backed it up to the cloud, and sat in silence for the next hour. Danielle came home that evening as if nothing happened. She kissed me lightly, asked if I wanted Thai food. Thai food. Our usual comfort meal. As if her betrayal wasn't now sitting like a lump of stone in my stomach. I said yes. We ate dinner together, and I stared at her across the table. Studying her. Every movement. Every smile. It all looked rehearsed now. A performance. That night, I didn't sleep. I started digging. I searched Trevor Wallace on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Found out he was staying in Charlotte for a weekend seminar, March 9th to 11th, at a hotel downtown. I screenshotted everything. Checked Danielle's calendar. She had yoga with Melissa on March 9th, the same time Trevor's event started. But here's the thing, she doesn't even like yoga. Melissa moved to Atlanta 2 months ago. Everything was lining up. But I didn't confront her. Not yet. I cleaned out the guest room and said I needed space to focus on a project. She didn't ask questions. She was too distracted, probably making new plans with him. Every morning, I looked her in the eye and smiled. Every night, I listened to her breathe while wondering how someone so close could feel so far away. Then, came Saturday. March 9th, 6:17 p.m. There was a knock at the door. They thought I'd break down. Cry. Scream. But I smiled. Not out of peace, but power. It was exactly 6:17 p.m., Saturday, March 9th. I was in the kitchen, drinking coffee I didn't need, when I heard it, 3 knocks. Calm. Like someone knocking on a friend's door. I already knew who it was. I had seen the Uber drop him off on the security camera. He stood there, confident, denim jacket, black loafers, the same man I saw laughing in the video with my wife. Trevor Wallace. I opened the door slowly. Not a word. Just eye contact. Jason, right? He said with a smirk. Thought we should talk. Man to man. I stepped aside and let him in. He walked in like he belonged, scanning the living room like he was impressed. I didn't offer him a seat. He sat anyway. Look, he began, I didn't mean for it to happen. But she came to me. You were never really. That's as far as he got. I raised my hand, and quietly, I said. I don't need your version of the story. I already saw it. He blinked. I walked over to the TV, turned it on, and played the video. The same one he sent me. The one where they laughed at me like I was disposable. Trevor froze. You sent it to break me, I said. But all you did was set me free. And then I did something I never planned. I hit him. Just once. One clean punch, not from rage, but from finality. He stumbled, held his jaw, and backed away. I didn't chase him. I opened the front door and nodded. You can leave now. You're not even the part that hurts. He left in silence. Minutes later, Danielle walked in, holding a brown paper grocery bag. She saw Trevor stepping into a cab, holding his face. Her entire body froze. What happened? She asked, panicked. I didn't answer. I reached into the drawer, pulled out the envelope I'd signed that morning, and handed it to her. Divorce papers. I saw everything. I heard everything. I gave you chances to come clean. You didn't. She broke down crying, saying things like, it was a mistake, and, I didn't want to hurt you. But here's the truth. She already did. And some wounds don't bleed, they burn. Slowly. Quietly. I didn't yell. I didn't curse. I just looked at her, memorizing that moment, the last time I'd ever see her as my wife. That night, I sat at the door, the same one where Trevor knocked, and I listened to silence. And for the first time in 3 months, I finally slept.